What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Fathead Cycles YouTube channel. Today we're going to be putting the Sony XAV-AX7000 in this 2017 Street Glide Standard. It's the same as an Ultra Classic. Let's get started. Installing a head unit on your 2014 and up Harley-Davidson Touring motorcycle requires basic hand tools. Basic hand tools required for this install: small flathead screwdriver, T25 screwdriver, you can use a socket if you have one, ratchet, 3/16 Allen wrench, needle nose pliers, side cutters, and a utility knife. Let's get over to the bike, put this baby in. The first step in putting your new head unit in is removing the outer fairing from the inner fairing. On both sides of the Street Glide, there are two T25 fasteners in the middle of the fairing and on the bottom of the fairing, on the left hand side and the right hand side. We're going to start with those. As you remove these fasteners, pay attention to the size. There are two separate size fasteners. The long one goes in the middle hole, short one goes in the bottom hole. Take the ones out on the right side, and then we're ready to take the front of the fairing off. We have three more T25 fasteners across the windshield. I always start with the outside fasteners first. Loosen the center fastener, and then you can remove your windshield. Remove your last fastener. Hold your fairing in place so it does not drop. You're going to want to disconnect your headlight. Then you can put your fairing aside. The Street Glide and the Ultras have this fairing vent that needs to come off. T25 fastener. And there's one on the opposite side. And it just slides out of place. Now we have to remove the radio tray. Start by removing these harnesses. I'm going to take my T25, remove 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Two T25 screws at the bottom of the gauge cluster. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 Allens on either side. You can use a T25 to get those out though. It's the easiest way to get those out in my opinion. One more screw to take out to get the radio caddy out. Give your radio caddy a gentle tug and it will come out. We have to get the speedometer and tachometer out of the way so that the radio can come up and out. Flathead screwdriver, pry gently on the tab. Pull your harness out. Remaining T25 fastener. And your whole unit comes out as one. Now we have to deal with the wires on the back of the head unit. Since this is a standard, it only has a USB, AM, FM. If it was an Ultra Classic or a Street Glide Special, you would have a GPS port here. What I like to do is take a pair of needle nose pliers, pinch gently, pull out, set that to the side. There's a tab underneath of the AM FM antenna, pinch gently, pull out, set that to the side. Right here there is a lock. You push that in, flip the lever over, the radio wiring harness comes out as well. Now we're going to take our 3/16 Allen wrench and get the 4 Allen bolts that hold the factory radio in place. They will not come all the way out because they are held in with rubber washers. Now your radio just lifts out. Now we're ready for a new head unit. So you've taken your old radio out of your motorcycle. You're ready to put your Sony XAV-AX7000 in. One bubble wrapped head unit, an antenna adapter, bag of screws, USB extension cord, remote control, owner's manual and warranty paperwork, fairing, disassembly instructions. Let's get this unit opened up. There's your radio, already mounted in the dash kit, pre-wired, modules already assembled. Let's go over to the bike and put this thing in. First thing you're going to want to do is remove the plastic film. Lift your wiring harness up out of the way, slide the head unit into place, lining up the holes in the dash kit. We're going to reuse the 4 bolts that we removed from the factory head unit. They go back in the factory locations, just a snug. No Loctite. Don't use an impact. We have the radio securely mounted in the motorcycle. Now for the part that everybody's scared of. Wiring. Our bundles come plug and play. Harness is prepared just like this, all your modules already on. Factory style connector. All you literally have to do is take our connector from our harness, plug it into the factory harness, and close your lid. Your head unit is now wired into the factory wiring of your motorcycle. What does that mean? It means that you do not need to make any other speaker connections to get your front speakers to work on a Street Glide. This module right here will integrate your handlebar controls. And this module right here that says 95-9700 integrates the head unit into your electrical system. One of the awesome features of the Sony XAV-AX7000 is it has Apple CarPlay or Android Auto depending on what kind of smartphone you use. That is only available over a hardwired USB connection. We need to figure out a way to get our USB number 1 from the rear of the head unit to the other side of the fairing so that we can use our phones. I prefer to run everything through the factory glove box. So we're going to remove the factory USB and then add our cable into the factory location. We're going to start by removing the USB out of the clip. We're going to take our flat-headed screwdriver and we're going to push down and in on the rubber grommet to get it to collapse into the glove box. And then I'm just going to pull it through. To maintain that clean factory look and to keep our USB cord from playing hide and seek inside of our fairing, we're going to cut the rubber grommet off of the factory USB cable and transfer it over to our new cable. Simply take a sharp razor knife, make several small cuts, and open the grommet up like a taco. This can now be transferred to whatever cable we are going to use to connect our device to our head unit. For the purpose of this video, we're going to use the USB extension cable that comes with your new head unit. We're going to simply open it at the split and push it over the cable. Going to reach through the front of the glove box and pass the USB through. We're going to simply connect our USB extension cable to USB 1. If you are an Android Auto user it is important to note that Android Auto likes short cables. The shorter the cable, the better. So I would not use this extension cable. I would route a factory charging cable from the glove box in place of this extension cable and plug it directly into USB number 1. Now it's time for the AM/FM antenna adapter. I'm going to simply plug the bayonet end into the hole. AM/FM is taken care of. The XAV-AX7000 has 3 sets of RCA pre-outs. So if you want to connect an amplifier, we recommend using your preamp outputs. On our harness, we've included a extra length of blue wire for your remote turn on, so that way you can turn your amplifier on and off. Now we want to drop our gauge cluster back in. I'm going to put one of our T25 fasteners that we removed before. Just going to snug this. Now we're going to slide the radio tray in place. Plug our gauge cluster back in. The 4 T25 screws that we removed from the back of the radio will be replaced with a small Phillips head pan head that's included in the kit. To keep this video short and moving along for you guys, we're not going to put the rest of the bolts back in the radio tray. Obviously, you'd want to. Now we're going to be paying attention to the lights on the steering wheel control module. It's blinking red and green rapidly. Going to start pulsing the volume up button. Up, 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 up. It's blinking red and green. And we got a solid red, which means our hand controls are programmed. What happens if your hand controls do not initialize the first time you try this? Don't be scared, there's an easy reset process. When looking at the box like this, we're going to take something small and pointed like a toothpick, a paper clip. In this particular case, I have a punch. You're going to press it in the top left-hand hole and hold it for 3 seconds. Remove it. It's going to be flashing red and green rapidly again. And then we're going to start pulsing our volume up button. Up, 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 up. Until we get the lights flashing green. Then red. Then solid red. When we are in our initial settings screen, you can set your language, whether you want the demo mode on or off. We prefer it off. You can also set your date and time. One important step is to test your hand controls before you put your fairing back on. We're going to go into our tuner. Volume up, it goes up. Volume down, it goes down. We can select radio stations, and we can scroll through our sources. Alright guys, that's it. Quick and easy install video on how to install your Sony XAV-AX7000. The rest of the assembly or installation is just reversed disassembly instructions on putting your outer fairing back on, putting your windshield back on, reconnecting your headlight. An amazing unit. Only takes 45 minutes to put in. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that way you're notified of any new content as soon as we put it out. Thanks for watching, guys.